All right, guys, Sean right here from Mutant Nation. We got a really cool special offer, a free trip to the 2021 October 7th to the 10th Mr. Olympia Weekend. That's right, free. Free plane ticket, free hotel room, free contest ticket, free all-access expo ticket. We've got some really cool secondary prizes as well. Dropping a new pre-workout on the Olympia Weekend. I got this special medallion. I'm gonna wrap it around one of your guys' neck, just like this. Look at this. Bam. This is an Olympia medal, and someone's gonna get this. All they have to do is sign up. Just go right here. Register right here and visit IamMutant.com. All right, guys, for Digital Muscle, where are they now? I'm joined with the 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman, better known as the Big Nasty, and his littlest one. What's your name?
Layla Coleman.
Layla's in the house. All right, well, we're going to talk about what Ronnie's been up to. Big Ron, I remember your career very well. Now, you hit the big stage in '92 in Helsinki, Finland at your first Olympia, but tell us how you got to that Olympia qualification.
I got to that by winning the Universe that year, well, the year before in '91. It was in Poland. It's called the World Championships now. Back then, if you won your weight class, you automatically qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah, that was a different time and a different place. Yeah. That also happened to be the year that Big Lee Haney was retiring, winning his 8th Mr. Olympia in '91 out in Orlando, Florida. So as you turned pro, did you have that ambition that, okay, it's 1991, I won this contest, I'm going to the Olympia?
Yep.
that was the final destination for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Had you seen the Mr. Olympia before you were actually in it?
I was at the last one that Haney won.
Okay, so you were in Orlando.
Yeah, So I was actually working security for that one.
Wow. Like you were actually like checking ticket stubs or just making sure people stayed in line?
They just had me at the front door, you know, as people came in, make sure everything went smoothly.
Interesting.
But I was mostly just taking pictures.
Well, let's give some perspective. You started off, you graduated Grambling University.
Yeah, I graduated Grambling in 1986 with a degree in accounting. Came here to Dallas with some friends of mine, looking for a job. They actually already had jobs. I didn't have one because I played football and I wasn't able to interview with any of the companies that came, because when they came, I was always on the road, traveling with the team, doing something with them. So they had jobs, and I came here with them and looking for a job. And the first person that hired me was Domino's Pizza.
That's right, the famous Domino's Pizza delivery boy.
Yeah, I worked there for 2 whole years. And the whole time I was there, I was looking for a job in accounting.
Were you working out at the time?
Yeah, I started working out when I was 12, 13 years old.
Listen, it's a job. It's appropriate for your age, right? Delivering pizzas wasn't a bad gig.
No. It was okay. I just wasn't making a whole lot of money. You know, I had trouble making everything. Car note, rent, everything. And I was like, so at the time, I was like, man, I need to do something extra. Right. So I found me a job throwing newspapers. Okay. So here
How old were you when you threw in those newspapers?
I was 23.
Wow, that's pretty old for a newspaper guy.
Right out of college.
I see a 23-year-old throwing newspapers at my house. I'm gonna be suspect.
With a college degree.
Okay.
Graduated with honors in accounting, and here I am throwing newspapers and delivering pizzas.
Now, at 23 years old, most people are doing a lot of other things. Yeah. You just took whatever you can get your hands on?
I took whatever I can get my hands on, because at the time when I came here to Texas, my car started breaking down on me. So they had this program. You can get a car and not make any payments for 3 months if you had a college degree. So that's what I did. 3 months was up. I didn't have a job, so I'm like, oh man, I got to take the first thing that come along. And the first thing that came along was the job at Domino's Pizza. Wow. And I had to take it because I had to pay to make that car payment that month.
So the interesting side note,
I took it.
The interesting side note is at 23, Lee Haney was winning the Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
His first Olympia, if I'm not mistaken.
Can I pause? Is there a way I could just make sure she doesn't cover your face?
Yeah, you want to sit on the floor. Remember I told you?
Okay.
You can't cover up my face.
Yeah.
There you go.
Would it be okay if I asked him to just keep it down because it's going to come through on the sound in the living room.
Good luck.
Kitchen.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good luck. It's okay.
Susan.
Very good. Okay.
All right. All right, so it's interesting because Lee Haney was winning his first Mr. Olympia. I believe he was 23 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And at 23, you're delivering papers. Lee Haney's last Olympia, you're there working security in Orlando. And finally, you get your shot. It's 1992. You're leaving the country. Did you have a passport before you knew you were going to go to the Olympia in Helsinki?
Yeah, I did, because I had to have a passport to go to the World Championship. So I got my passport.
That's right.
That year that I went to the World Championship, which was, like I said, 91.
Right. So what did the family think? You're leaving the country to go and compete in the Mr. Olympia. What were they thinking about that?
Well, you know, at the time, my family wasn't really here. I had came to Texas all by myself. So I was, you know, on my own, living in my own apartment by myself. And most of my family, my mom and everybody, they were still in Louisiana. So they wasn't really keeping up with a whole lot with what I was doing because, you know,
You were doing your thing.
I was doing my thing, and I was busy all the time. And, you know, I really wasn't talking too much to people back home because I was, like I said, I was doing my thing, trying to make make the bill, payments and everything. So I really didn't talk to them that much back then.
Yeah, and bodybuilding's pretty much like that for a lot of people. It's a cult sport. We get into it, the family's kind of doing their thing, and the athletes do their thing.
Yeah.
Now you're what, the father of 8 kids?
Yeah, yeah. See, I got 6, so we got 2. Altogether, yeah, it's 8.
Altogether, it's a football team.
Yeah.
And now you got all kind of family all over. I know your mom used to come to the shows, rest in peace.
Yeah,
But here we are in Helsinki, Finland, Ronnie, and you showed up with Vicky Gates. I remember I saw you at the turnstile coming off the airport while we're waiting for our bags, and I was wondering what you were doing there because I missed the '91 World Championships. I was like, "What is he doing here?"
Yeah.
And tell us what happened from that point on. You're coming into the competition.
Yeah, you know, I was just looking forward to just standing on stage. I didn't care how I placed or nothing. I was also looking forward to, you know, just visiting Helsinki because it was my second time out of the country. My main thing I was thinking about then was just standing on stage with you guys.
And let them know you did that, and how did it go for you?
I ended up not placing at all. I don't think. I think they placed first through 16.
Yes.
First through 15, and everybody got 16 after that.
So you were 16th place.
Yeah, I didn't get a call out or nothing.
Amazing.
So I basically had a good place on stage once a show.
Yeah, so how old were you then? How old were you when you were standing around?
I was
on the Olympia stage.
I was about 25, 26, somewhere in there.
It's interesting because I don't know too many people that travel to compete in the Olympia to like see the country, to participate. Most guys I interview, they all go there with the mindset that they're going to do some damage.
Yeah, see, what you don't understand is, Sean, the reason why I got into the sport of bodybuilding is because the guy at the gym told me to give me a free membership.
Right.
So when I first came here, I came here with the police department. And one of the guys that I worked with saw me on the streets one day and asked me where I worked out. And I told him I was at the station. He said, well, man, you need to come to this gym. We got a lot more weight. I'm like, okay. So I go to this gym, and the owner saw me and like, man, I was pretty big back then. I had 22-inch arms. So.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you compete? I'm like, no, man, never competed. Never even thought about it. Never even wanted to. He's like, man, you should compete. You could probably be world champion one day, win an Olympia. I'm like, no, dude. I work at the police department. And
this is the gym owner.
Yeah. I'm like, I work at the police department, and I'm not into dieting either. He's like, oh man, it ain't that bad. I said, no, I just want to work at the police department, and that's it.
You were content.
So for like 3 or 4 days he would say that to me, and I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to.
And you hadn't seen a bodybuilder up into this. You hadn't seen a contest.
I hadn't seen a contest or nothing. Hadn't even been interested in it. Didn't even know anything about the sport.
How old were you?
I was 20. See, I worked 2 years down. I was 24.
Well, that's a late start to never see a bodybuilder. So go ahead.
Never saw one, and. By the 5th day I came in, he's like, man, I'll tell you what. He's like, I give you a free membership to the gym. You compete in this show I got coming up here called Mr. Texas in like 3 or 4 months. I'm like, dude, that's all you had to say at first.
Free
I didn't want to really pay no membership because, I'm struggling. I really don't have the money for it right now. Like, yeah, I'd be glad to do that. So, only reason why I got into bodybuilding is for the free membership. So I didn't really care too much about, you know, where I placed.
Right.
I never thought I'd, you know, get anywhere in the sport because, like I said, I never was interested in it. Never been to a bodybuilding show and just never, you know, thought anything about it.
So what did you think after you got last in 1992 coming home?
I was probably the happiest guy there. Because like I said, at that time, you know, I was just basically doing it for the free membership. I didn't think I'd do well in the sport. And free membership was all I cared about.
Well, I'm sure after coming home from the Olympia in '92, seeing some of the guys, obviously Muhammad bin Aziza, the late Muhammad bin Aziza, Liparata, and Vince Taylor. These are guys you saw in the magazines. And now you were one of them. You're on that stage. So clearly, surely after coming home, did you have 1993 in your mind to get back and try to do better?
Yeah, I wanted to get back and you know, stand on that stage again, but didn't work out for me.
Well, I'm going to fast forward it because I believe the first time I recognized you as somebody that was going to be dangerous was in 1996. Do you remember getting called out with me and Dorian Yates in 1996?
Yeah, you know what? I remember getting called out with Dorian. I don't remember who else was there.
It was me. Dorian and I were battling for 1 and 2, and then there was a call out where it was me, you, and Dorian.
Yeah.
And of course it was you, me, and then Dorian. And I had to do a double take because I didn't know where you came. I remembered you from '92. I didn't remember all the other stuff. So this was the first time I thought, you're as big as Dorian. Like, you stood in that lineup. I think you got 6th place in 1996.
No.
Where were you?
I ended up in, what year did NASA fail?
That was in '96. He was 3rd.
7th, wasn't it?
I ended up in 7th.
7th place, right. But Nasser got knocked out of 3rd place.
Yeah,
they put you in 6th.
Yeah.
Unceremoniously, they did it behind closed doors. But you were 6th, I remember. And it was at that time I said, this guy's going to be dangerous. And of course, Long Beach, you wound up getting 9th place, so you were going the other direction. And then we get to 1998. But in 1997, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been 98, you beat Flex Wheeler in Canada.
Yeah, that was 97, I think.
So when you beat Flex Wheeler, who clearly was miles ahead of you, what did that do for your confidence?
Oh, I was real happy, and I was like, well, maybe I can do a little bit better than I thought in this sport.
Yeah.
So of course I took it a little bit more serious by this time. I still didn't know how it was gonna go, and I had no idea I was gonna place like I did in '98 though.
But when you beat Flex before the Olympia, did that give you confidence that when the Olympia comes, you can beat him again and beat others?
No, because he beat me the next week.
That's right. You were on the tour. He did.
Yeah, so I was like, okay.
That's a big feather to have in your cap, though, that you beat Flex.
Yeah, I was like, well, I was overseas, and, they always do me good over there. But back home, I'm back to out of the top 10.
Well, by 1997 in Long Beach, and you got 9th place, Dorian retired that year.
Yeah.
And now the 98 Olympia is wide open, and it's moved to New York.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about who the next Mr. Olympia is, but nobody's talking about you.
Nope. Nobody, on nobody's radar.
Did that bother you at all? Were you paying attention to it?
No, I wasn't really paying no attention. I was like, as long as I can be in the top 5, that's all. It's
a totally different mindset. Listen, when you talk to Flex Wheeler, it was his show going in. When you talk to Kevin Levrone, he's going to win the contest because he had a couple second places. When you talk to me, I thought I was going to win the contest.
Y'all had
even Nasser, but no one was talking about you.
No, because I never placed that high before.
So we're in New York City.
And I didn't even think I was going to do that good.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did.
Didn't have a clue.
But we're in New York, okay? So everyone's in their own little zone.
Yeah.
And then somewhere came, I think that was the first call out. Had you been in the first call out up until that point in time?
I wasn't even in the first call out.
So you had to work your way up.
I didn't get called out to 3rd.
And then what happened?
I think we had individual posing.
Right.
Muscularity round. And then
that's where you show. Yeah, that's where everything changed. I think we all witnessed something. We were all fired up, but we watched the individual round.
And then I got first call out.
Yeah, I think things changed, and this was probably the longest I ever saw you fall out on the ground when you won your first Olympia.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were going to get up.
I didn't think I was going to get up either.
What happened?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, you were just gone.
I was gone. I was totally gone because I didn't think I was gonna win when me and Fleck was standing there.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't ever think I was gonna win Mr. Olympia.
It's a different it's a different mindset because bodybuilding, we're so full of vanity, right? Like there's so many egos and so many guys walking around cocksure of their capabilities.
Yeah.
And you didn't. I mean, the weights you were throwing around in the gym were scaring some bodybuilders. That didn't build your confidence. Like how much did you weigh? You were 200 and how much in 1998 when you won?
I was 247.
And you still weren't confident enough that you could beat these guys.
No, never thought I'd even come close to it.
So prejudging is over, and now we've got these hours in between prejudging and finals, and we all hear nothing but Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
What were you hearing after prejudging?
I didn't hear anything because I was talking to Joe for a long time.
Yeah, and no one else had Joe's ear. Talking to Joe for a long time would do a lot for my confidence.
Yeah, I was talking to Joe for about an hour or so, and then I took a few pictures and I went back to my room and went to sleep.
Wow, you were able to sleep?
Yeah, because I was kind of feeling good because I finally thought I was gonna make the top 5.
Yeah,
and that was my goal for that show.
So your expectations were low. So clearly you were blown away by the time they announced you as the winner. Did you have a chance in hindsight, looking back, when Flex was second? Like, did you see his reaction when he was in second place?
No, I don't remember anything after he got caught.
You just went.
Yeah, everything just went away. I don't remember him. I saw the video and he said something to me and Chris came over and said something. I don't remember none of that.
I think we were trying to resuscitate you on the stage.
I don't remember none of that.
But let's give some perspective now. This is a $100,000 payday on that night.
Yeah.
Not to mention history, because I believe you might have been like the 11th or the 12th Mr. Olympia ever at the time. Do you remember which one you were?
I don't have
until that point?
I didn't have a clue.
Well, let's figure it out, because after you, we had Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Then we had Dexter.
Yeah.
We had Phil Heath, Brandon Curry. Now we have Rami. So there's 5.
I had Sean Roden too. So.
And Sean Roden. There's 6. So you would have been like the 9th or 10th Mr. Olympia in the history. I think you might have been the 10th. But when this happened, the hits just kept coming, because not only did you win the $100,000 and the Sandow Trophy, Joe Weider had a contract for you, one that he's never presented to any other bodybuilder up until that time. How long was the contract that he offered?
6 years.
6-year contract.
Yep.
He must have seen something.
Yep, exactly.
That all the other bodybuilders didn't see, because you went on to rattle off 7 more consecutive Olympia titles. So he tied you up for your whole career.
Yeah, pretty much. He saw the whole thing.
Which of those years do you think was the scariest for you in terms of losing the contest?
01 for sure.
01 with Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
And you came from behind.
Yeah, exactly. Because the morning show, I had to drink a gallon of water because I was totally exhausted. Dehydrated. They had me doing all kind of... Leading up to the show, I think I did all the press for Mr. Olympia that year.
Let's give some context. 2001 was the first and only time you did the Arnold Classic. Was it the only?
Yeah. That was another thing. I did the Arnold Classic.
You did the Arnold Classic in March. You did the Arnold in March and won.
Yeah.
And some people arguably say that might have been your best look.
Yeah, and I found out the hard way that the body only peaks once a year.
True. I mean, for some people, Dexter Jackson would argue that.
Yeah, because for some people, I'm one of those.
Well, besides you and Jay Cutler, I don't even think Jay Cutler did. You and Dexter are the only 2 to win the Olympia and the Arnold in the same calendar year. Because I don't think Jay won the Olympia when he won the Arnold.
No, he didn't.
Jay won 3 Arnold Classics and, of course, 4 Olympias. But Dexter in 2008 and you in 2001 are the only 2 guys to win the Olympia and the Arnold.
Yeah, but I was the only guy that won the Arnold Classic and being Miss Olympia, though.
Yeah, you were.
Nobody else did it,
So, how did that feel? I know 2001 was a long run, but as an athlete, I mean, here's a guy delivering pizzas. You won $100,000 in a Hummer in 2001 at the Arnold.
Yeah.
Then you turn around, you win $110,000, I believe.
Yeah.
Life has to be good for you in 2001.
Best year ever.
A long ways from delivering pizzas.
Best year ever.
Not to mention the Joe Weider contract.
The Arnold Classic that year was the highest paid bodybuilding show ever, because we got that $106,000 Hummer.
Right, that was a
and $100,000.
Yeah.
paycheck. So that was like.
And didn't you just buy a Cadillac Escalade the same year? I think.
Yeah,
you got the free Hummer.
Sure did. Yeah, I sure did. Just bought that Escalade, my first Escalade. But that was the highest payday.
Yes, it was.
Ever.
It was a big time. So how did it feel? Now Arnold knows who you are. What did you
Yeah.
think about meeting Arnold back in those days?
Yeah, I had met him a couple times before, but you know that was even better because me and him were able to get together that same year and did a show in Dallas here called the aftercare program, kids aftercare program.
Right. Well, I asked Arnold who would win between you and him, and who do you say would win if you competed against him?
Oh, he would.
You think Arnold could beat you?
Back then, you know, he probably would have.
I think Arnold at his peak was about 230.
But
right?
you know,
6'1".
at my peak, yeah, I think I probably took him.
Yeah. Would you match up favorably with a Phil Heath? Could you have beaten Phil Heath when he won 7 Olympias back then?
Yeah, I think I had the chest on Phil.
And what about Lee Haney? What do you have on Lee Haney?
Well, Lee Haney is from a different era.
He is from. It's all different eras. But what do you have that he didn't? That he would have needed to beat you?
Well, I think I had a bigger chest and a bigger back.
And those are his two strong points.
Yeah, but I was a bigger guy.
Yeah, I would say he had better legs because your hamstrings dwarf his and your calves at the time.
Yeah.
Did it go fast for you, that whole Olympia?
Super fast.
Yeah, because you not only won 8 Olympias.
Only thing about winning
you did more.
8 Olympias, you don't really get a chance to enjoy.
Right.
Because you got to start getting ready. As soon as you win one, you got to start getting ready for the next one.
Yeah, but people talk about the victories, right? And the victories didn't start till 1998.
Yeah.
You were there from 92 to 97 prior to that.
Yeah.
Did you miss any of the Olympia, any of the years?
Yeah, I missed 93.
93, and that's when Flex Wheeler got second to Dorian. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great year.
Yeah, that was the only year I missed.
Okay. Who do you think was your biggest challenge back then?
Oh, man, back then when I was competing, everybody. Because for the most part, I wasn't really trying to be a bodybuilder because I had the job working for the police department and I was making real good money there.
Right.
So, you know, back then, my job as a police officer always came first. And I had that job and I had a couple other jobs
Right.
when I was working full-time police
It seems
department.
like you were working
So I was
more as
making
a
a lot of
body-
money.
It seems like you were working more as a bodybuilder than you spent the time on the force. How many years were you on the force?
15 years on the force, but see, like I was saying, I also worked part-time at Denny's. I worked part-time at a boot store.
This guy did everything. He did it all.
It was security. They was paying me twice what I made at the police department.
Okay.
So you had to take it. So, you know, it was easy money. So I would work 4 hours at Denny's, and they would pay me $80, you know, at the end of the night. Cash.
So if someone comes up to your booth, it's $80 to get a T-shirt, a poster, and an autograph. You traveled the entire world. Is there somewhere that you didn't go through bodybuilding? Is there somewhere that you wanted to go that it didn't take you?
You know what? I wanted to go to Egypt at one time. I think that's the only place I
didn't get that.
I was getting ready to go, and actually, they had booked me an appearance, and something happened. I can't remember what it was. Man,
But Egypt's come on strong now with the NPC worldwide.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities
Yeah, I
still.
was booked and getting ready to go, and something happened. It'd been so long ago, I forgot what it was.
Well, let's talk about long ago. So you walk off the stage. I believe the last time I saw you on stage was 2010 at the Pro Masters World Championships that Dexter Jackson won in Miami, Florida. You were the guest poser.
Yeah.
I don't know if you posed. I don't know if you went somewhere and posed after that, but it was pretty much towards the tail end of your career. And Larry Scott was there. We recognized him and gave him a Legends Award. And now you got to walk away. You're done. So where do you go? Where did you do?
Well, I actually started my own company in 2011, and I thought I used to work hard.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. My first year starting my company, I was on the road for it's 365 days in the year. I was on the road for 280-something days.
Trying to plant seeds for your company and promote the products?
Seeds for my company, and I was on the road for months at a time. Like I say, it was the hardest thing I had ever done. There were times that I didn't even sleep for like 2 or 3 days in a row.
Well, I know.
So busy.
When you say, I'm going to give context. You said that's the hardest thing you've ever done.
For sure.
I thought it was when you were squatting 800 pounds.
That was light.
And you quit.
That was light.
But you said you wanted to get another rep.
I wanted to get 3 more reps.
Okay.
I could have got 3 more reps if I took into account the gravity pull. Because when I deadlifted 800, that was the heaviest 800 ever. But when I squatted 800, that was real light.
So what did you enjoy better, competing in bodybuilding or doing the powerlifting?
I think powerlifting, because that's where I started.
Do you think a bodybuilder has to have that now to get to where you were? You have to have a little bit of both?
It helps, you know, because it's, you know, 2 sports that pretty much the same, except for one you need strength and power. The other one you need a little strength and power, but mostly symmetry.
So what would the 56-year-old Ronnie Coleman say to the 36-year-old Ronnie Coleman?
Enjoy winning every Olympia that you can, because it's going to be over real soon.
Yeah, it went fast.
It's going to go by so fast that you going to miss out on a lot of other things. Because I missed out on a whole lot of things. Because there were times where I would be stuck here and I didn't go anywhere.
Just eat, sleeping, and training?
Eat, sleep, and train.
So you were a late bloomer. I think you won your first Olympia. How old were you?
34.
34 years old.
He retired at 31.
Yeah. And Chris Dickerson won his first Olympia at 42. How old when you won the last Olympia?
41.
Are you the oldest Mr. Olympia? No, Chris Dickerson.
Chris Dickerson is, yeah.
Which would bring us to like Dexter Jackson. He was he over 40 when he won? 2008?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't over 40.
So what about the challenges now? When your bodybuilding was over, your powerlifting was over, the injuries started to come, or at least they started to be more prevalent.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was injured back when I was playing football.
So this is before you were bodybuilding?
So this was before I was bodybuilding. Because I remember my first injury, they told me never to squat again,
And this is before you got to Olympia?
This is before I got
Why didn't you listen?
You could
have helped us all out if you had to listen to them.
This is before I even thought about bodybuilding.
Wow.
Because this was in college. I was like 19 or 20. Yeah, when I first hurt my back, real bad. And I mean, it was painful. And I remember I was going to the doctor, and they were doing x-rays, and they would always say, nothing wrong. I'm like, well, I'm in all this pain. Like, we don't know what to tell you. I finally went to a chiropractor, and he said, oh, man, you messed up real bad. He's like, you been squatting? I'm like, yeah. He's like, never squat again.
And this is, you're 19?
Yeah, I'm 19, yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, I can't squat. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's out, which I did squat for a long time.
Okay, so you took some
time.
So
I was going to chiropractor every single day.
Wow. At that age?
Yeah, at 19. And then, you know, it started getting a little bit better. But I still didn't squat. I didn't squat actually until I started bodybuilding again.
But the surgeries didn't happen until after your career. You didn't have surgery while you were bodybuilding.
Yeah. They wanted to have surgery on me in 96 when I herniated one of my discs from squatting. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to just rehabilitate it going to chiropractor. And that's what I did.
Well, we've seen you in the Battle for the Olympia tapes that Mansur used to do.
Yeah.
You certainly don't look injured. So were you just masking the pain by getting into the training?
Well, you know what? The pain was easier for me to deal with back then. You know, and it didn't last that long. Most of the time it'd be for like a couple hours a day or something like that.
Right.
It'd be gone. So, you know, and then I've always had a real high pain tolerance. So it didn't really affect me that much.
Take me back to that last Olympia where Jay Cutler beat you. When that happened, you said you knew going in that Jay was going to win the show. But when he won the show, you shook your head almost like you're not accepting it. Did you not accept that Jay beat you, or what was going through your head? Because you looked like you were standing there and
I remember that because I was saying to myself, I thought I had him at the beginning of the show, I looked over at him, and he didn't seem to be in that great a shape. And then I saw the pictures, and I was like, he wasn't in that great a shape. So.
Yeah, that's after the fact.
Yeah.
But when it happened, you didn't buy it. You
No,
weren't on board. You thought they got it wrong.
I thought they had it wrong. And I was like, okay, well, you know, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
You chose to come back the following year.
Come back, yeah.
Was that a mistake?
No. You have to try to redeem yourself. Right. At least the way my mind always thought, you know, especially after winning 8 in a row. It's like I was like, you know, maybe if I did something different, maybe I could, you know, win it again. But it wasn't meant to be, because that's when I really had a lot of back pain.
Yeah, you had pain going into that one, so you felt it.
Yeah, I couldn't even stand.
So then, after the first surgery, did you know it was over then, or?
No. Because after the first surgery, you know, I felt a whole lot better.
Okay.
I could stand again like I wanted to. I was back to full strength again. And I was thinking about getting back on stage again. But every time I got ready to get ready for the Olympia, you know, it'd be something else.
Yeah.
And after a while...
I think you had some issues with your lat. I think you had some issues with your lat.
No, that was from my lower back.
Okay, your lower back.
Yeah, that was from my lower back. You know, once you herniate a disc, it's real hard to get your back to function the way you really want it to.
But I've seen you in the gym training after surgery.
Yeah.
Like leg presses.
Yeah, But I was still doing some heavy stuff even after.
Yeah, everybody thinks you're nuts.
Yeah.
But was that therapy? I mean, was it helping you?
Because it was helping a lot, actually. It got me back to full strength again.
Okay.
It was just the fact that, you know, after a while, I think I, you know, kind of like injured it again.
Which was inevitable, I think.
Yeah, it was inevitable, because once you, you know, you got some cans stacked on one another, you take one of them out, you know, all of them gonna fall. Yeah. So. And that's what ended up happening to me. Once I herniated that one disc, they all herniated right after that.
Take me back to, I think it was 2002, because you worked your way from the back of the pack, but dude, you won the Olympia and you went to Louisiana, where you're from, New Orleans. No, we have the GNC Pro Championship. I'm taking you there. Hold on. Let me take you there. Yeah. We're coming from the Olympia and we're going to Louisiana, and you're going home, man. This is the GNC $100,000 show. Yeah. And Gunther Schlierkamp, who's 5th place in the Olympia, sneaks up and takes you out at the GNC Championship. Total blindside, as they would say in the series Survivor. What did you think when that happened? Because I believe you went to another show before then to compete on the tour. No?
Yeah, I did. I thought, okay, they want to go to war, so let me take them to war. Yeah. So I came back in 2003 with a different physique.
Yes, you did, and you won again. But can you validate Gunther? Did he deserve to win that show? A lot of people were excited for him that you actually got beat. It's like Mike Tyson getting beat by Buster Douglas.
Yeah. I think it, you know, just adds a little, you know, unknown about what's going to happen the next show.
Had you seen Gunther coming in the rear view? Because no one really saw him beat. No one thought he would be the guy to beat you at that time.
No, I didn't really. Well, you know what? At the Olympia before that, they were saying
I think he was 5th place.
Yeah, he would get pretty good.
Yeah. But he was a long ways from being Ronnie Coleman-ish.
Yeah.
But on this day, he not only did he win, but he won the $100,000, and everyone felt like you were beatable at that time. Yeah. And I didn't know if it was because you had eased up after the Olympia and you thought you were just going to cruise in and win, or if Gunther just caught up to you. Because it was a one-hit wonder. He did nothing after that.
Yeah, exactly. I think he just got lucky. He just got me probably on a bad day or whatever.
Which one is the most memorable? Which one stands out the most?
You know what? Actually, I didn't really consider those to be like real shows because it wasn't for no title or nothing.
Oh yeah, that's the Grand Prix shows. But the Olympia, which one stands out for you?
The one that stands out the most to me is the one where You know, I was totally dehydrated
Yeah.
that morning of the show.
Las Vegas.
And I was kind of like thinking I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
That one stands out to me more than any show. Because I was on my way to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Chad called me and said, don't do that.
It was a dehydration issue, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Cramping?
No. I wasn't cramping or nothing. I was just exhausted, tired.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I didn't have no energy. Mm-hmm. Like when I went to get out of bed, I couldn't hardly get out of bed because I was so exhausted and tired. I went to try to walk around a little bit. I didn't have no energy to walk around. And I'm like, man, I'm out of it. There's no way I can compete like this.
Right, you didn't have the energy.
And then I started feeling real bad, like I was sick. I'm like, wow, that's totally unexpected. And it hit me right then and there that something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting ready to go to the hospital, and Chad called, like, man, don't do that. You done work too hard for this show. He said, just grab a gallon of water and chug it.
And that solved the problem.
Yep, that's all the problem.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going on stage in the Olympia, and you got all this water.
Yep.
Water's the last thing you want, right?
Last thing you want. Normally, you don't drink any water like the last 2 days before the show.
Right. Did it help you?
It helped a lot.
In terms of your appearance on the stage?
And it messed that up.
Yeah. Because you were trailing.
I was pretty much waterlogged. You know,
I did the commentating for Fox Sports Net, and you were trailing, like, I think 8 points going into the posing round.
Yep, sure was.
And so you pulled that one out.
Yeah, because I was able to get rid of some of that water. You know, back then, you know, they had the morning show and the night show in the same day.
Is it?
Well, now they do it a lot different.
Right,
you know,
they stretch it out.
show, yeah.
So we're in a time right now where there's a crisis in bodybuilding. A lot of bodybuilders in the hospital. Some of them are even dying. How do we put the genie back in the bottle? Is the judging criteria too extreme with the detail that the athletes have in terms of drying out?
I don't think so. I think they probably just sort of need to testing again for diuretics like they did when Benaziza died.
Right, that was like 92-ish,
yeah.
93-ish.
Yeah. And
that's the main problem right now.
That's the main problem. I think that's what, those diuretics are dangerous.
Like in the last couple of months in bodybuilding, a lot of bodybuilders are drying out too much, to the extreme. Some of them are even dying at the moment. So what do you attribute some of that to?
It's got to be the diuretic, because diuretics are very dangerous. Back in, I think it was 92, we had one of the guys die, and they started testing for diuretics. They did. After that.
For several years.
Nobody had a problem.
Yeah.
Up until now, I think.
So, like, I'm fighting with gurus all the time online about whether or not these athletes need the gurus or shouldn't listen to gurus. I mean, when it comes to getting advice, should they even be talking about diuretics to these people or not?
Like I said, those diuretics are dangerous. They will kill you, as we've seen in the past. So I think it's mostly all about the diuretics. So I think they brought diuretic testing back. I think that'll solve the problem.
So a lot of people said Big Ramy won the Olympia last year because he was so dry. He finally hit his peak, and also he was able to hold his poses.
Yeah.
Is somebody going to beat him this year? You got somebody that can challenge this guy?
It's going to be real hard, you know, especially after you done won, and you now have the formula. So I think it's going to be real hard, and plus he's a big guy, you know, and 9 times out of 10 they're looking for the biggest guy.
Yeah.
To be Mr. Olympia. And that's kind of what they wanted for the last, 3 or 4 years. And Big Ramy came in there and got, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or something like that.
Right.
And even when he got like 4th or 5th, a lot of people thought he should won.
Yeah, well, but people look at him and see that
he's so big.
When people see him dry, are they attributing that to the fact that he's finding out how to manipulate the water, or are we dealing with diuretics, or how do you get there?
He found out how to manipulate water.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And a lot of people said the posing, the extra posing, getting ready for the show helped him with his stamina and his hardness on stage.
Yeah.
Which a lot of bodybuilders skip over that part.
Yeah, I never did. But yeah, that does make a lot of difference. And I'm quite sure you know all about it.
So who do you think has got the inside road? We've got some new jacks. We've got Hunter Labrada. Lee Labrada's son is actually qualified for this contest, and he was 7th place a year ago. Now we got Nick Walker, We got Ian Valeri. There's some. Are these names ringing a bell with you? These are new guys coming onto the scene. So you think Rami's going to be a shoe-in to repeat this thing? I mean,
I think Rami's pretty much a shoe-in.
Yeah.
The way I see it.
Is it because he's so big, much bigger?
Because he's so much bigger. Now, once you start seeing some guys get a little bigger, you know, but also you got to have conditioning with that. So you got another thing to look at.
Well, that's going to be.
And it takes a while to solve that, as we can see with Rami.
Did you finish everything on stage that you wanted to do? Like when you?
Oh yeah.
You were done at the time it was over.
Oh yeah, I way over achieved.
And so now,
way over.
You got. You said you have 4 kids here. They're 7, 8, 9, and 11, or something.
Yeah.
And so, is that consuming all of your day nowadays, or how does it work?
Well, that
you say you sleep all day. You sleep in the daytime like a vampire.
Yeah. I normally get around 7.
It's 7 at night.
Yeah.
He wakes up at 7 at night. 7 p.m.
Like when you text me, I just woke up.
Yeah.
But you know, it all had to do with how I do my schedule.
Yeah.
You know, and my schedule is just done that way now. I can always change it, you know, because I don't really have like a set job that I have to go to now. You know, for my company stuff, you know, most of that's done like overseas, and every now and then I go down to the office or something and do a lot of work over there. But for the most part, I don't have to do a whole lot now that the company is pretty much established.
But do you feel like you're missing anything? Is there anything missing for you? I mean, you've
Nothing.
done it all.
Nothing.
You traveled the world.
Nothing's missing for me. Like I said, I way overachieved. I never thought I'd win Olympia.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Never.
That you not only won 1, but you won 8.
8, yeah.
What else do you want to do on the landscape? You got the vitamin company. You got the 8 kids.
Yeah.
You got the house that's been paid off since a million years ago.
Yeah, a million years ago.
You traveled the world, so you don't have to do all of that.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, when you get to this point, you know.
You're 56 or 57?
7, yeah. You've overachieved and really not too much left to do.
Well, they're talking about a Lifetime Achievement Award. So that means you're getting old.
Yeah, that means I'm getting old.
What does it mean to you when you hear that you're going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award? What does that mean to you?
That means that
you got to make some more room in the cabinets.
Yeah, I got to make some more room in the trophy case.
No, I mean I've seen these awards given out. I've seen Gaspari get one. I saw Triple H get one.
Yeah.
Franco Colombo, Linda Murray, some very elite athletes. Lee Haney. But what's it going to mean to you when you receive that?
It's going to mean that it pretty much defined my career. And my career is set in stone and pretty much over now.
You think somebody else is coming along and win 8?
Me to achieve.
Is 8 even possible?
I don't see 8 possible no more. Because the way things are going now and the way the guys are.
Different champion every year.
Yeah. And, you know, it seems like it's not as good as it was when we were competing, you know, how all the guys were always in shape and you had to, you know, really put your best foot forward to win the show.
Right.
And everybody was, like I said, everybody was in great condition all the time, you know, for the most part. Now it doesn't really seem like that.
Are you still interested in the sport? Do you still go to the shows, or?
Yeah, I'll always be interested in sport and go to the shows, but you know, it just don't seem like it's the same when we were there. You know, we had a lot of camaraderie back in the day when I was competing. You know, Flex helped me out a lot. Kevin helped me out a lot. Guys were more in tune to helping each other. Like we would go to shows and we would tan each other up.
Right. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
You think that the digital age has kind of ruined that camaraderie a little bit, kind of keep you separated?
Yeah, because there's so much talk with this digital thing.
People fighting against each other.
People always talking bad about each other.
Yeah.
And it's just not the same no more.
So what's in store for you? Obviously, the physicality. Are we in therapy? Are we waiting for another surgery? Are we working out? What are we doing?
Well, I'm still working out every day, but for the most part, I'm just waiting to see how things go. You know, there's always new technology. The latest thing, you know, was the stem cells. that you can go, but you got to go out of the country to
Yeah,
get
I think
it.
you got to go to Brazil or somewhere.
Yeah, I've been going to Mexico
Okay, Mexico.
to get mine. And it's been helping out a lot. You know, I've been getting a lot better.
Now, is the
But
stem
it's gonna
cell,
take
is that
some
in a,
time.
is that in a direct area? Is it like, is it in the shoulders, in the back, in the legs? What is it?
It's mostly IV.
Okay.
So it's you know, they just put an IV in there, and they just let it go throughout the whole entire body. So
Is it working? Is it something you can feel that makes you feel better?
Yeah, I feel a lot better now, and but as far as you know, nerve regenerating, I haven't had that yet. That's
Okay.
going to take some time. That takes years, I think.
So, 57 years old, 3 years to 60. What do you want to see happen with Ronnie Coleman, the Ronnie Coleman machine? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I just want to get a little bit mobility, a little bit more mobility going.
Okay.
You know, I've been on the crutches now for a long time. I just want to get to the point where I'm off the crutches.
Yeah.
For the most part.
So do you have a mobile scooter?
Yeah, I got the mobile scooter right there,
Right.
and that's just for like long distances.
Any regrets?
No. Yeah, I do have some regrets. I remember when I was squatting at 800.
Here we go.
I wish I'd have got that 3 more reps.
Got the 3 more.
Yeah.
You're going to stick to your story, right? That's
Yeah,
it. The 3
yeah,
more reps.
yeah, 3 more reps. I mean, look at you can't have any regrets when you way overachieve.
Yeah.
Like
From
8 times.
yeah. When you say newspaper delivery boy and
Yeah.
pizza delivery.
Pizza delivery, newspaper delivery.
Yeah. Carrying Vicky's bag, her bag while she's doing the business.
Yeah, and then worked for the police department for all those years. So
You had a good run, man.
I had the best run.
I try to
ever.
feel sorry for you sometimes, but it's impossible. You're too optimistic.
No. If anything, people should be feeling real good for me.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I have way overachieved.
Well, you're going to be getting
Done
this.
way more than I thought I'd ever do in life.
I think it's the Arnold Classic. You're getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, right? So
Yeah, finally.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be recognized, but the whole world will be watching that. It's going to be coming up September 25th in Columbus, Ohio.
Yep, we're
You are
looking
joining
forward.
a very illustrious
Yep.
lineup of Lifetime Achievement Award recipients
Yeah.
from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's going to be another highlight of your
And
career.
this will be probably one of the highlights of.
Yeah, we got to find a place
Oh,
to put it.
Yeah, I got to find a place to put it now.
You got the Ronnie Coleman crown up there. I remember that.
Yeah.
Any of these awards stand out over the rest?
The standouts.
All the
at top.
standouts, yeah, because-
that stands out over everything.
Yeah.
That's why they're at the top.
There's only one people. Can you bring that to the Olympia this year with you? One of those?
Oh no, because they don't stand up to the ones they got now.
Yeah, the ones they have are supersized now.
Yeah, mine's just a little baby now.
Well, all right, man. I'm going to wrap it up, Ronnie. So we're coming to a close of another Where Are They Now? The great one, the Ronnie Coleman, the Big Nasty, as Lonnie Teeper named him way back in the day.
Yeah.
Comfort here in retirement. Got his family, got his health, got his wealth. He did
Yep.
very good. Long ways from delivering pizzas and newspapers.
Exactly.
We'll see him out in Columbus, Ohio, and then we'll see you later on at the 57th Mr. Olympia weekend in Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets on sale right now at MrOlympia.com. For the great one, Ronnie Coleman, I'm
Good
Sean
buddy.
Ray, DigitalMuscle.com.